Jonathan Agger for Seconds Out here with Dean Whyte. We've just witnessed an unbelievable knockout, second round for Conor Benn. What's your thoughts?
That was an amazing knockout. He done really well. That guy was huge for a welterweight. I'm not sure if he is a welterweight. He was massive. If you look at the torso of him and look at the torso of Conor Benn, they look like they're in different weight classes. But listen, credit to Conor, because that guy was very strong. He was beating Conor to the jab at times. He was throwing the right and catching him. Conor started a little bit, he should have been using his jab, I felt, and he was getting beaten to the punch a couple of times. But listen, he pulled a good shot out of the bag which caught him, and then after that it was good night Irene. You know what I mean? Mega performance for that tonight, you know what I mean? But he's still young, he's still got a lot to learn. He needs to be able to compose himself and be a lot more settled. You know what I mean? It was the first round. He was doing a little bit much, you know what I mean? But, you know, it's all good. What happens is sometimes the nerve gets about you, the crowd gets about you, want to please. You know what I mean? And he's a fighting man. You can see he's got a lot of balls. He took the shots well and he came back and got a devastating knockout like that. That's a statement.
Yeah, and he's beaten a fighter who's fought for the European title 3 times before.
Exactly.
How far can Conor Benn go?
Do you know what? Conor Benn with the right guidance can go really far. What I think though for me, I think he just needs to understand it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. So when it started a little bit too fast, I think he wants to keep a little bit more composure as he goes up, because the other guys in this division are animals when you get to the real elite level. You know what I mean? Porter, Spencer, Furman, Pacquiao, all those kind of guys. Pacquiao won't be there when he gets up. We're talking about those kind of caliber of guys. You know what I mean? You've got some really good boys up there. So for him, he wants to be able to know he's going to come in, start, feel them out, then get the shots, because you can see he's got a lot of power, that boy. He swings with bad intentions.
Absolutely, and what do you make of the rest of the night? Obviously, mixed night for you, disappointing for your guy Dwayne Sinclair. What's your thoughts on that fight, first of all?
Do you know what? Dwayne, it was his first big test, you know, stepping up, coming on a big occasion, matching him. I don't know what it was, if he's overtrained or maybe cutting weight, but he just seemed really flat, you know. He came in, but that guy, Fox, his record is a bit of a underlying thing, you know what I mean? It's not the truth. He's won, I think, about 6 in a spin or 7 in a spin, I heard now. So he was a hungry guy and he kept pressing. And, you know, Dwayne just went up for it. It wasn't his night. We've got to give credit to Fox. And he goes back to the drawing board and he's got to really look at himself and see where he goes, because, you know, he's 38, what is he, 37, 38? So he's got to kind of see if he's got that desire and hunger to do well, you know?
And Ted Cheeseman, Kieran Conway, it was a split decision draw. It was controversial. How did you have it?
Do you know what? The cleaner, better boxing came from Conway for me. You know what? His punch selection, man, it was really good. He was digging to the body, going to the head. He just looked really good. For a young guy as well, I felt that Cheeseman was going to outman him, out-experience him, out-hustle him, which he was doing at times. But it depends what you like, you know, because Cheeseman pressed and came forward and kept pressing and throwing him, you know, punches and bunches. So it was a tricky one. So it depends what the judges liked, you know. So that's why it was such a close fight. But I like the little technique, the technical guy, you know, went to the body, went from body to uppercut to the head and used his jab all night, and his ring IQ moved around the ring. But I think that's a fair decision, a draw, because they both can come again. You know what I mean? And
Ted Cheeseman moves on to Scott Fitzgerald next. I mean, that's going to be another war, isn't it?
That's another war. Look, you saw when they underestimated Fitzgerald against Fowler, and he came up trumps and managed to drop him and do some real damage to him. I think Fitzgerald, for me, because he beat Fowler, I think he's just a little bit ahead. Ted Cheeseman isn't hard to miss. I think he needs to work on a bit more slipping, trying to slip the shots, but he doesn't want to change too much of what he's doing, because, you know, sometimes it could be to your detriment if you change your style too much. But I mean, he's a tough lad, he's got a good chin, and I mean, it's going to be an absolute war.
Now, also the Battle of South London tonight. Craig Richards came out on top in a mega fight with Andre Sterling.
Good fight.
What do you make of that?
Do you know the funny thing? The whole card today was unbelievable. I think, you know, from bottom to the top, like you're saying, there's just been some really good dust-ups, good rivalries, and a lot of passion. You know, like Sterling came in with a lot of passion, a lot of desire. He was what was he, 10-0 was he? Or 9? I can't remember what his record. But you can see he had purpose. But the only thing, he started way too fast. That's what he was always going to burn out. And I think Craig showed his experience. But I believe Craig could have got the stoppage in there. He had an opportunity, but the overzealousness for the kill, looking for one big shot, that's where he came on top. But listen, he's got the W, he moves on. And I hope he just learns. You know what I mean? All of these guys have got good learning. They put on a good show for themselves and their fans. Everyone leaves happy. Obviously, the loser's not too happy, but at least you can go back and say, listen, I give myself a pat on the back. I went out there and I put it all on the line. And that's all that counts when these guys come and do that.
And there was a lot of big knockouts tonight. You look at Shannon Courtenay, and what about Otha Jones III? What do you make of his fight?
I must have missed that fight. I missed it. Yeah, was it
Devastating knockout? 19 years old.
Oh wait, they know the American kid.
Yep.
No, he's a beast. He's an animal. I heard he's won like 21 national titles or something crazy like that. He's a former Olympian. He looks spectacular. The way his punch selection was ridiculous. He meant business. He's going to be a handful for anyone. 19 years old. That guy as well. That guy was well confident. He was dancing. He was smiling. I thought he was going to do a better job. He didn't even get out of the races. Didn't get out of the blocks. That guy put a pasting on him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.